And welcome back. Picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire, on the map submitted by the community member. This is the last full day. I'm going to be doing some dog watching, some dog babysitting. And this is the dog in question. This is Cindy. She's an old dog. And that's one of her favorite toys in the picture there with her. As I brought up in earlier streams, at the beginning of every stream while I'm dog watching, I'm going to have a dog picture up to show what dog I'm talking about. I may have one up tomorrow, which will be a partial day where I'm dog watching. We'll see if I even stream tomorrow. I have to move the setup back to the old location, which may result in some delays in getting the next stream going. Tomorrow's stream will be a short stream. It won't be a full-length stream, one way or the other, if it happens. So let's put the dog picture away and get to playing the game. So, Shadow Empire, where we left off last time, we got ourselves up into 4th, so much better where we were earlier, which was in 8th. In fact, the person to our north, Davisford, got our old position. To give you an idea of how much things have changed. We've got a protectorate on these guys. We've got a protectorate on these guys. We've got a protectorate on these guys. You start summing up all that population, that's a decent amount of population. The biggest problem we now got going for us is before we can really safely integrate all that population, we need to achieve land connection. We've been sort of coerced into integrating this one early. So we don't have an ideal land connection to it. Although this place is making decent industry, so there may be some capacity to do a mutual meet up in the middle if diplomacy works out. We'll see about that. Construction-wise, I think we're in the middle of construction. Yeah, expanding the mine to meet the needs of building industry and stuff, which we did take over. So we've got a 6 accessibility mine here, hopefully to provide all the metal we need. We're also in the process of getting our troops redeployed, potentially for moving against the slavers in the northeast. Should be a little easier than the other slavers because it's not through dense mountains. Okay. That, I think everything is roughly shorted. I don't think there's anything really potentially missing. So I could do another Xeno diplomat or some zone stuff. Gamble on some improvised IP.
Order received.
Yeah, okay. That lets cycle the turn. Yeah, this turn cycle, so sort of go over the positions, at least as far as I remember it from last time. So, in the east here, we do have the slaver. Previously, they were all the way up to, I think, around here. We started to push them back. At this point, we've mostly pushed them all the way back into high mountains. So I think we've got them on the ropes, and if we had the logistics to push into the mountains, we should be able to finish them off. To the south down here, we have a sentient, well, a survivor AI. Which, again, if they weren't up in the high mountains, I think we are equipped to deal with. Do some shenanigans with non-aligned forces. We managed to get all the way down here and get access to this asset. I believe this is providing us with colonists. 200 colonists a turn. Northeast, we have slavers. North up here, we have non-aligned. So if we didn't have the protectorate here and trying to get the road across to the protectorate so we can start integrating the protectorate, we could, if we had industry left over from trying to fight these guys, maybe fighting these guys, be rolling across the little bit of plains up in here to expand northward. That would probably be a good place to expand. In hindsight, now that I'm across the mountain, I'm probably going to run up this side, try to get up to the aliens up here. Because if we could diplo annex the aliens, then we could run the road through their territory, get access to our city connection over here, where we've put up a temporary second HSQ to manage the local logistics. With that, we could get a connection down to this city here and the city here. Getting a lot of population. That would probably be enough to take us into first. And then we've got a major to the south and a major to the north. And we know this world has a total of 7 other functional majors. 2 of them, no, 3 of them have, I think, stopped to exist. But that still leaves 7 other ones. With so many majors, we might not necessarily end up in a state where we're having a runoff with one of them. So it might just be the race to get to 50% victory points here to win this run. Although, no one has really started to run away with it yet. And the expectation on this intern is this intern is going to probably be a little bit boring, as nothing interesting should hopefully happen. As I say the words that made chunks the round, you see. But yeah, if everything goes according to plan, should be a boring round. Hopefully it stays a boring round. One thing we're still missing from a mining perspective, we don't have a known source of rare earth metals. We got metals, we got water, we got oil. And over the next couple turns, although I'm saying couple turns, over the near future, we should have all the industry. So we're going to slowly approach the point where we're going to be bottlenecked by rare earth. At least for the higher tech stuff. Well, that and high tech parts. Oh, and I think in here, we've got some nomads. We should probably be able to ignore those nomads. I suspect the major to the south will deal with them for us. Okay, coming up in a aligned turn. We should be shortly after this. Although this is the part in the town where things might get interesting. Oh, and we are dealing with some amphibious aligned personnel, so we have to be a little bit careful there. But yeah, looks like it wasn't too bad for us. Back around to us soon. Okay, round 132. We killed 300 infantry over the end turn. We have 3 decisions. One of which is what to do with those marauders. You want us to increase reconnaissance? We'll accept. Not sure how successful that will be. We'll support to mitigate critical success. You want us to upgrade Verdun to major city level?
Roger that.
Sure. Okay, that's basically eating all the political power for the turn. Okay. Industry is improving. Down to the construction look for the turn. Okay, made full speed with the metal mining facility. How's the power looking? 159 lost. And heavy industry, I think we've turned down to minimum due to shortage of... Yeah. Okay, so we wouldn't have enough power if we were running that at full speed. Of course, we can't run that at full speed, which is a different problem. 6 high-tech parts, 12 machines, although we have the machines. We've got 9 high-tech parts. Richard, if I can probably pick up... Wait, a few... Yeah.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
May need to expand the ice mine if we're actually running water negative. Yep, I think that's what we're gonna do over here.
Prepare for evasive maneuver.
That's where he is. That's super good. Okay, then over here, got you encircled. Do we commit the tank? I think we commit the tank.
Status critical.
Oop, and we lost the
Clear,
tank.
sir.
Well, that wasn't super great. We dealt with the Hex problem, but we lost our tank. Yeah, I'm surprised these guys aren't properly receiving ammo. Theory, we have it to send to them, but it's not being delivered for whatever reason. They are beginning to culturally adapt. If they adapt enough, we'll start getting recruiting here, and we'll start being able to raise regular troops, which we should be able to supply. And we do need petrol over here. Not much, but we need some. Oh, and there's none available, because of course there isn't. That would be nice. I'm not going to be concerned with the water for the moment. Really thinking about expanding this energy power. Although, if we do that, we should definitely do the mine. The water mine. But this is going to be 3,000 metal plus the mine. It's the water mine. There's another 2,000. So the current production rate on metal, that's like 3 turns. And then after that, we're going to be investing in industry itself. But yeah, lots of metal. Or not heavy industry, the light, which is still lots of metal. Not as bad as the heavy, to be fair. Although it's going to take a couple upgrades before it's actually producing industry turn over turn in comparison to the construction cost. And yeah, we went through quite a few political power before we even really got to do anything this turn. Let's just cycle the turn. Okay, so the amphibious enemies went back into the ocean. Although they'll probably just come back ashore again. I bet. Knowing our luck. Luckily, there aren't a lot on this planet. Always been having more problems around our capital. Okay. Here we are, round 133. We have 4 decisions. Okay, so someone just quit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that, sir. Yes, sir. Roger that, sir.
So I don't really want enforcement or democracy. But we do want the relations improvement with the commune. We'll do this one because I think it's easier to recover the
Roger that.
commerce. Although for the moment we're very apparently enforcement focused. Okay, so the mine's done. Making enough, I think we can make the gamble to expand the volcanic energy plant. Well, we're making enough water that we don't need the ice mine expanded, unless we're expanding the volcanic energy plant. So let's expand the ice mine as well.
Copy that.
Spotted.
Ow.
Abort mission.
Explains why that hex wasn't being claimed. Oh, so they didn't go to sea, they just moved down the little bit. Okay. Well, that's not good. Nothing's gonna get delivered without that working. Why is that not working? Where's the 60 petrol will show in the thing? Ah. That's not good. I'm gonna buy petrol
Yes,
here.
sir.
Which shouldn't be necessary because there's petrol available. Okay, then hopefully that fixes itself and not becomes a problem.
Order received.
Okay. Don't like our low ward score, but not much we can do about that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means next turn we should have enough to raise a brigade here. It won't be a full brigade, but brigade of infantry wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, we should have enough men there. And then they'll be a little bit better of line holding units than these militia. Plus, give the line holding units more places they can hold. And then I don't got enough left to do any Xeno diplomacy. Because that's going to cost 21. Yeah. Do a quick check. Do I actually have reserve for unemployed? Yes, I have one. I think that was a commander we had quit. No, we just have an empty council. Yeah, it was a commander. You're doing the reasonable thing and quitting instead of, you know, rebelling. Okay, let's cycle that turn. We're having some action, apparently. Multiple fights. Although, I think everything that we had held. So the question is, how much damage did we deal and take? Colossal State, round 134, we killed 100 infantry at the cost of 300. We have 9 decisions awaiting us. Let's go for motorbike infantry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We don't really get the political power
Yes,
of them.
sir.
So Severus or the Research Council. It's fine.
Order received.
Roger that.
You know, we'll go ahead and develop this. So Gauss rifle and pattern virus suit is heavily armored as these guys get.
Understood.
So they're going to be a little bit squishy. Offers an advisor, which is expensive.
Yes, sir.
Grab the commerce. We want the commerce, so we'll pay that.
Copy that.
Although it hurts. I don't really want government or heart. I'm gonna take the government here because I don't want to
Yes,
pay the
sir.
political power. New commander for the SHQ. Wait. Oh. Darn, because our commander for the SHQ, I think, was the Camp 5 guy, right? So he quit because he didn't like the way the commerce was going. Well, that's sad.
Understood.
And the truck station isn't working, which if the truck station isn't working means we've got, like, baffle logistics. Which is why nothing's working here. The game decides to be dumb. Okay, mothball activate. That's probably not gonna work. Okay, so I think the zone is broken. These guys at least getting food. No, they're not. So I think this is a bug. So, SHQ should be able to properly supply assets that they're physically in contact with. Even with the logistics. I think I saw this in the patch notes, and this has been fixed. So this is probably just the effect of the maps from an older patch. But yeah, we may end up losing control of the city if that is actually going to work out that way, because if there's no logistics to work, then the truck station doesn't work, then we can't do any bloody defense. Okay, construction's working fine. We do industry a little bit fast, which is maybe a little concerning.
Order received.
And this time I do have the political power. Let's try to do diplomacy with the minor. Or with the Xenos.
Roger that.
Although it looks like it may be because we drafted the workers. Or volunteered the workers. Hopefully the situation fixes itself, because that's an annoying bug if it is. Active bug. Okay. We should be good industry-wise, at least to finish the ice mine. Maybe a little bit short to do the volcanic energy. Although it'll come purely down to IP at this point. We should have enough metal. Yeah, the new metal mine in theory is actually making enough metal that we're metal positive turn over turn. Okay, so all those are fine. Let's cycle the turn. We'll see how the situation evolves. At this point, we're ready for these guys to offer to sell us slaves so we can say no to them twice. That's basically where we're at. These guys, again, we're waiting on IP, although the point in time where we'll have that IP is approaching. Once this is done, I can either build up the government bureaucracy, which is tempting to do, or I can build up the industry. I think I'm going to go for the industry first. If we get the road to here, we can start rolling to integrate these guys. Once they're integrated, we can connect. Maybe start saving up for a rail connection to there. We'll see, but it depends on how many troops we've got. Once we've got these guys integrated, we can also run the road along the mountain here, which is going to get us a lot deeper into the slaver territory, even without having to work into the mountains. Okay, cycle the turn. Looking at the time for this episode, we're going to play out the rest of this end turn. We're going to see what happens, and then that's where we're going to put the part break when it comes back around to us. And we'll start up the next part at the beginning of next turn. So let's see what happens. Okay, so this is the end of the round. No fighting over the intern, so that was good. We'll be picking up at the beginning of the next part on round 135, where we have 2 decisions. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part. And bye for now.